Okay, what is up, everybody? Today is Tuesday, November 26, 2013, and welcome to a very special edition of Release Day Unboxing. And the reason I say that is because these games that we're going to be unboxing today, unfortunately, this is not Release Day. If Nintendo actually did release their games similarly to how everyone else does and release them on Tuesdays in the North American region, then this would have been the day when I would have done the unboxing video. However, Nintendo likes to do things differently, and they decided to go ahead and release these on Friday. Now, the reason I did not do an unboxing video on Friday is because the Xbox One was released on Friday, and so this past Friday I was actually at GameStop at midnight to pick up my Xbox One, but they would not sell me these Nintendo games at this time. Alright? Since Friday, I've been non-stop playing the Xbox One every single day, and have not had a chance to head out to GameStop to pick up these games. So today is a very special day where I headed out to pick up the new Nintendo releases. Alright? So, we've got two this week, and it's a big week for Nintendo, because they really need to perform sales-wise with these games, because let's face it, this past year has been pretty bad for Nintendo. Since the release of the Wii U, they've pretty much had a very lackluster year. Many of the titles which they thought would perform quite well and be system sellers for the Wii U have not done so well, including Wonderful 101 and Pikmin 3. And so Nintendo really needed to do something to push out some kind of sales for the holiday season and convince people, hey, we're still here, there's a reason for you to continue to buy our systems. Now, in the realm of the Nintendo 3DS, it's not that big of a deal. Let's face it, 3DS continues to have excellent content every single year, including a new Castlevania game this year. They had a new Pokemon game. They had a new Luigi's Mansion. I believe earlier in the year there was a new Fire Emblem. There's some pretty good titles for 3DS that I played many of. In fact, I played every single one of those games I just mentioned, except for Luigi's Mansion, because I just never got around to it. I actually own it and never got around to playing it. So, excuse me. So, all that being said, it's really the Wii U that's been suffering this year. And basically Nintendo admitting that the sales of the Wii U have been piss poor, nowhere near as close to the sales of some of their other past consoles, especially the Wii, that's for sure. However, in recent months, sales have picked up. They said that past few months, sales have picked up a bit, and I'd be willing to think that that's probably because of a game like Rayman Legends that finally was released after a 7-month delay, and the fact that we are heading into the holiday season, and a lot of parents looking at the next gen of consoles, you know, the Xbox One, the PS4, looking at the launch titles and saying, oh gee, that's just what I want my kid doing. Running around slaughtering people in Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty, playing Rise, Son of Rome, and having them executing barbarians left and right. So I get the feeling parents looking for a family-friendly option are going to go with the Wii U, especially because the Wii, which, you know, a lot of people bought for the same reasons years ago, really doesn't have that many titles coming out for it anymore. It's finally died down to the point where if you really want to continue on with Nintendo, you do have to adopt the Wii U. However, the fact that the Wii U is still $299 when it's literally now a last-gen console, okay? And you could get a PS4 for only $100 more. I don't know how that's a competitive advantage. They're trying to bundle it with both Super Mario Bros. U, and Super Luigi U. Those are old games. So I don't know how Nintendo thinks that's a value to the consumer who hasn't bought it yet, because I'd be like, bundle it with this. Don't bundle it with two old games. But I digress for quite some time. I always like to give my thoughts on what Nintendo's doing. But anyway, this is it. This is a big week for Nintendo, because on a week when everyone else is playing Xbox One, the alternative gamer is going to want to be playing something else. And it's huge. If you've got either of these Nintendo consoles this week, it's huge. I mean, the new Mario game, which, by the way, is, I believe, from the makers of the people who made Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS a few years back. When I reviewed that, I told you guys it was one of my favorite Mario games of all time. It was outstanding. It was incredibly well done. Had a huge amount of content and stages, which once you beat the game, completely unlocked another set of stages that were more difficult versions of the originals, which is, it's like double the content. It was like 2 Mario games in one. Had an outstanding number of secrets and challenges. And overall, it was just a really well done Mario game. Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is a unique case because, if you can believe it, ladies and gentlemen, it's the direct sequel to A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. That's right. The 3rd Zelda game ever. Well, I take that back because I think at the time there was also a Zelda game for, what was it, for the Game Boy. But for mainstream Nintendo consoles, the Zelda game that was on Super Nintendo, it is, as of right now, my favorite Zelda game of all time. And I played it this past summer when I did a Summer of Retro event. I went back and played some of my favorite games from my childhood. So if you haven't seen that, you definitely should. I mean, I went go back and watch, hours and hours of content that was in that game, and I love it. And to this day, I still love it, and I'll play it again. You know what I mean? I played it this summer. I wouldn't mind playing it again and again. That's how good that game is. All right. So to have a sequel to that game some 20 years later. Actually, it's more than 20 years later, is insane. Like, they really thought, wow, it's time to go back to that classic top-down Zelda gameplay. We're going to actually have some of the same locations and story elements from that game in this one. It is, in every description of the word, a direct sequel. So I'm extremely excited to be playing that. Now, the thing is, a lot of people have been asking me, Phil, are you going to be doing a playthrough of it? And the answer is no, because I don't have any way to capture the Nintendo 3DS. They do have devices to do it, yes, but it would entail having me run lines. I already have 100 lines here for my direct capture scenario as it is. Running more equipment and more lines across my condo so that I can sit on the couch playing with wires hanging out of the 3DS, and I just don't think that that's valuable. You know what I mean? I don't think that I'm not interested in doing that. If eventually they have a way to play 3DS games on a console-like setting, then I would do it. I don't want to sit here playing with wires everywhere. I said this before, if and when I move and I have an office area and I could set up my direct capture set up properly the way it should be instead of being a Frankenstein monstrosity like it is now in my living room, I'll consider doing 3DS direct capture, but as of right now it's out of the question. It's just not a realistic possibility for me, alright? So I will be playing Zelda off camera this week. And what I mean by that is probably I work all day during the day. At night when I relax on my couch and I wind down, I'll probably be playing Zelda. So I will be probably tweeting about it, letting everyone know exactly what to expect from this new Zelda game, and my thoughts about it over the course of the next week, if not weeks, depending on how long it takes me to beat it, okay? Mario, I'm going to be playing a co-op playthrough starting this Friday with my friend John Rambo, who, as you know, is the person who I do cooperative gameplay with the most. And this year, we actually played Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World, respectively, on emulated version. Well, actually, the Super Mario 3 we played literally on the NES. We had an NES hooked up here and we used my camera to record the playthrough. Later this year I adopted direct capture, and so we played an emulated version of Super Mario World on emulator. Even though I do own the game, it was the best way to do it for quality of the visuals and such. Okay? So, we're going to be doing a co-op playthrough starting this Friday. I know there's no way in hell we're going to beat the game in one day, in one sitting. So the way it's going to work, we're going to start it this Friday, and then the next time that we do co-op, which more than likely will be 2 weeks after that, because I am taking some time off to spend with my girlfriend and celebrate the holidays, we'll be continuing it. So this week you'll see the beginning of this playthrough, continuing through. I probably won't upload all the videos in that one day. I'll probably spread them out a little bit. So we probably have some of it that day, some of it later on in the week, and then in December we're going to continue with that playthrough. All right? So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited because it's a long time since we've played a new Mario game. We played New Super Mario U last year. It was one of the console selling titles for the Wii U, but it's basically been a year since we've had an official platforming Mario title, and here it is. And I'm very excited from all reviews and everything. People are saying the game is amazingly good. which I'm not surprised. Again, if it's really from the makers of the guys who made the 3DS game, I'm not surprised this one's as good as people are saying, alright? So I just talked a ton. Now let's actually unbox, because there's really not that much to unbox, as you're going to see. So new Super Mario 3D World. Explore a whole new world. Make your way to the goal pole on your own or with friends. Actually shows there's many new power-ups, including Double Mario, a new cannon box power-up, the cat. So there's many, many new things they've added. 4 characters that all are unique. You got Mario, who's well balanced. You got Luigi, who can jump high. Peach, who can float with her skirt, and Toad, who's the fastest character in the game. Actually, for the first time, it says that if you are having problems, like if you're a younger kid and you're having problems with the game will actually generate power-ups for you to make the game easier. Now, John and I are veterans of Mario games, but at no point are we saying that we're experts. So it would be funny if if we fail a lot and it starts generating power-ups for us. And this is pretty crazy. You can select any control scheme you want. So you can use the Wiimote and Nunchuck, okay? You can use the Gamepad Pro, which I have. You can use the Wiimote and the Classic Controller Pro. You can use the Wii U Gamepad, or I actually read, because inside you're going to see, we're going to look at it, you can just use the Wiimote. So there's 5 different ways to play the damn game. That's pretty crazy. So we'll open it up. There you go, very basic. Super Mario 3D World. A Goomba with a bell. I don't know what that bell is on the back. So here you are, as I said, in the inside they really only document 2 control schemes, the Wii U Gamepad or the Wiimote. But they do mention that there are 5 different ways you can do it, okay? And it gives you some basic controls, ground pound, how to hold things, how you can pick up your co-op players if you're playing multiplayer. The bubble mode, which has been around since, since the first Super Mario on Wii, which was how long ago. They still got the bubbles. And now it's the new power-up, the cat, and they explain the different things. You can climb walls, you can claw enemies, you can slide, and you can pounce. So 4 new abilities there for the cat mode. Everything else here is just the same thing in different languages, so I don't need to show you that. It actually does have this thing here which explains how to read the digital manual for the game. Because that's right, they don't formally, even Nintendo has done it now, ladies and gentlemen. They don't formally make big manuals for their games anymore. I guess they realized they could significantly cut back on cost if they just didn't include a lot of printing materials inside of their games. Of course, for a gamer and a collector, that's a big bummer for us if we used to look. Remember, back in the day, well, you might not, but back in the 90s, I remember, whenever you bought a Nintendo or Super Nintendo game that was first party, you got an amazingly long, full-color booklet with story and art and all kinds of stuff, and now you get barely anything, which is pretty much a letdown. I guess it needs to be said we have fully moved into the digital age. We're going to be seeing a lot more stuff like this in the future, okay? So that's Super Mario 3D World now. The one thing you didn't see, there were Club Nintendo points in there that I entered myself into clubnintendo.com, so obviously I didn't show those off. Zelda: Link Between Worlds. This is a new Zelda adventure in the beloved world of Hyrule. Brave all new dungeons. Face a fresh threat from a shadowy world. And travel both worlds using an incredible new power. Merge in and out of walls. Beat dungeons like never before. Pretty cool. Now picking this up, I want to read the back because it's very small. If chasms stand in your way, merge into a wall and then pop out once you've crossed. Whoa. Explore the Hyrule made famous in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and then travel to a new world that's on the brink of disaster. So it's similar to the, I guess it's what they're saying is it's kind of similar to, if you remember, in Link to the Past, there was the light and dark world. Of course, in that game they called it the regular world and the golden world. It's going to be similar to that, but I guess what they're saying is the original Hyrule will be similar. The alternate world will be different, which is kind of interesting, okay? However, it is important to note, no multiplayer at all, no features like that. Some Zelda games have had it in recent years and some haven't. This one does not. So no multiplayer functionality in the new Zelda, okay? So let's open this guy up. And this one, unfortunately, is even more basic than Mario. There's nothing with this one. See, all it is the thing that says how to get to the digital manual, and that's it. Nothing. No picture, no color booklet, nothing at all. Kind of a letdown, honestly. So that is it. That is the unboxing of Mario 3D World and Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. I hope that you will join me for the co-op playthrough of Mario 3D World starting this Friday and continuing through the month of December. I also hope that, if you do follow me on Twitter, that you'll be listening into my thoughts about Zelda. I'm very interested. I'm very, very interested in sharing my opinions on the game and hearing your opinions about the game. Some of you probably have never played The Link to the Past, and you might have different feelings than those of us who grew up with Link to the Past, seeing if it's a throwback or not. What does the game really play like? So I'm going to start playing that as of tonight. As of tonight, I'll be playing it. I'm very excited to be playing it. I cannot wait. Excuse me, and I hope that you will join me for the playthrough of Mario 3D World and for my thoughts on Zelda A Link Between Worlds. And more than likely, I will be reviewing Zelda A Link Between Worlds. So that will be coming up as well. A Hateful Truth game review where I will give you my full thoughts. Okay? That is it. Thanks everyone for joining me for Release Day Unboxing. Even though it's not release day, it's a little exception here. And thanks for joining me all this hardcore gaming season. It's been a busy one. And I hope to see you for more gameplay coming soon. Peace out.